Hello, kitchen utensils. So every YouTuber seems to have their own show. PewDiePie with The Why,
The next episode of The Why.
George Mimulus with
Last month this happened.
and Jax Films with.
Yesterday, I asked you.
So I would like to introduce my brand new show. My opinion, no one asked for. Cue the intro. The movie we're going to be talking about today, if you can guess by the background that I have on the green screen, Soul. Disney Pixar film, and is actually the first Disney Pixar film to have a lead character that is black. It's great, it's progressive, except for I'm not going to be really giving it points for it because it doesn't really matter the color of someone's skin if the movie's good or not. If we're trying to be more equal, that doesn't mean just because there's a black character, the movie is an automatic 20 out of 20. So I'm going to be ranking it based off of fair stuff: plot, characters, soundtrack, and if it gave me the feels. Each of these things will be on a 1 to 5 scale, and then will overall be rated on a 1 to 20 scale. In which case I'll add up the scores of the 4 things to the final score. 20 is the best movie I have ever seen. I was like bawling because of just how amazing it was. I turned it on and I was like flung back into my chair just like. And 1 is if I was literally throwing up on the ground, like, what is this? And I couldn't even get through it because it was just that bad of a movie. 10 is like mediocre, kind of like, I guess, you know, I guess that was a movie, kind of forgettable. Also, by the way, there might be spoilers here. Actually, I'm going to give a brief overview of Soul for those of you who haven't seen it. Soul is basically a movie about this guy, and his name is Joe Gardner. He's a music teacher, but he aspires to be a jazz musician. A big, grand, famous jazz musician, because he's actually really passionate about jazz. That's his spark. For those of you who don't know, a spark is something that you get when you're an unborn baby in the Great Before. The Great Before, for those of you who don't know, is basically a place where unborn babies are, where they basically learn what makes them, what their spark is. If they have a spark for music, then they'll figure out that they have a spark for music there. And once they find their spark, their little things right here will turn into Earth, and they'll be ready to go to Earth and become a newborn baby. Joe Gardner finally gets his dream to come true, and he dies. He dies. RIP. So now he's stuck in the Great Before. Then there's a bunch of mentors which are trying to find these newborn babies, their spark. Joe Gardner basically poses as one and has to train this character named 22, who is an unborn baby, very sassy, can't find her spark. Many mentors have tried. That's kind of where I'm going to end it off. Spoiler warning from here on out. That's a brief overview of the movie. Okay, so I'm going to be ranking the plot. The plot's pretty stable, to be honest. It's a pretty good plot. Kind of has the ups and downs, the points where it's like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy, and the points of, oh no. The plot's not like the strongest plot ever, not like the freaking edge of your seat. At least it wasn't like that for me. It might be like that for a younger audience or people who get overly super invested into movies. Overall, I would give the plot a 4 out of 5. Pretty good plot. Now we move on to the second category, characters. Joe Gardner, the main protagonist, pretty good, really handsome, an overall character that is a character. No, but he does have a bunch of character growth throughout the movie, which is good. 22, another main character. The character development in this character is pretty insane, just like an ignorant little, well, I don't want to be born. Why would anyone want to be born? Why would anyone want to exist ever? Hashtag relatable, am I right, guys? In the beginning, they just want to live as a soul for the rest of their life. But towards the end, she finally finds her spark and actually has emotions by the end of the movie, surprisingly. I would rank all the Jerrys as 10 out of 10. All the Jerrys are amazing. And then there's Terry. Terry is, it's a pretty one-dimensional villain. They literally have one dimension. But it's pretty threatening for a really short, shape-shifting 2D mouse. So, I gotta give them props to that. The Jerry's and Terry they have an interesting concept to them. I actually really like them. Overall, I would rank the characters also a 4 out of 5. Pretty good characters, not perfect, pretty good. Soundtrack, just listen to this. It's a masterpiece, and it filled me with tears. This is beautiful. In all seriousness, Terry's soundtrack. Amazing. It has like this eerie vibe to it, which makes Terry even more threatening for a short mouse. Terry rates the soundtrack 4 out of 5. Now we're going to move on to if it gave me the feels. As I said, I've never cried during a movie, so it'd be unfair to be like, have I cried? But that doesn't mean I've never felt emotions during a movie. There are some movies where I've almost cried or felt emotions, because I can get emotional at times. Towards the end, it gave me kind of like, not like a dead blank stare as it's happening. It kind of gave me a, but not a feeling. So I'd give that a 3 out of 5. Pretty decent. You made me feel semi-emotions. I don't have emotions. All in total, it scored a 13 out of 20. I would rank most Disney Pixar movies as a 10. They're good movies. They're good movies, but they are pretty mediocre and kind of forgettable at some times. A lot of them were my childhood. That was actually a pretty good one. Right next to Incredibles, the best superhero movie that's animated of all time. If you want more MONOAF, then please subscribe and leave a like. If this gets a bunch of dislikes, I won't ever do another episode of this again. If it gets a bunch of likes, I'll definitely continue on the series. If you guys just meh, then I probably won't bother, since these are pretty high effort. But I enjoy doing stuff like this. I'm currently addicted to reviews and commentary channels and stuff like that. So I enjoy it. I enjoy stuff like this, and I wanted to do it myself. Anyways, that's it. Bye.